Good afternoon, and welcome to the online information session of the Master of International Cooperation Sustainable Emergency Architecture. We're going to be waiting for more people to connect, so we'll be starting in a bit. We'll start in 5 minutes, so we're giving time for more people to join us on the session. Okay, well, good afternoon. My name is Carmen Mendoza. Welcome to the online information session of the Master of International Cooperation Sustainable Emergency Architecture of the International University of Catalonia. I'm going to be explaining first with Raquel Colacios, who's here. That's the program coordinator. We're going to be explaining and showing a presentation to you. And then when we finish the presentation, we'll be happy to answer all the questions that have been generated through the chat. So I think we can start now. Welcome.
Well, welcome all of you. Our program is based in as Carmen was saying, in the International University of Catalonia. It belongs to the School of Architecture. We are a private university placed in Barcelona city, near the Collserola mountain. It's a small campus but with all the facilities. You will have access to all the services and installations of the School of Architecture, let's say the model lab, the library, also lectures organized by the School of Architecture. And so
we wanted to just briefly introduce the team. The core team of this master's, as we said before, is us two, plus the other co-director, which is Sandra Vestraten. and we have an assistant coordinator, which is an alumni of ours called Allison Corneef, and whom you're going to meet later on when we're answering the questions, which is our communication officer, Ana Cañizares.
Our master degree, just before going into the detail of the program, it's a one-year program, an official master, comprised of 60 ACTS credits. But it's also a second-year option for the Mundus Urbano program, which is a 2-year master. It's the Erasmus Mundus Consortium, which is hosted by the University of TU Darmstadt in Germany, and together with the University of Tor Vergata in Rome and the Université Grenoble Alpes in France, we are the second-year option for this Mundus Urbano Consortium. So in class, our, let's say, UIC students that are doing the one-year master are doing the master program together with a group of students that doing the 2-year program, the Mundus Urbano.
Yeah, so we just wanted to pinpoint this out. Our master's is 1 year, and it's 60 credits, but you will be in the classroom with students that are doing this 2-year program, where we are the second-year mobility. So let's see, it's important for you to know an overview of what the master's is about. As the title says, it's a Master in International Cooperation, and what does this mean? It's like international cooperation is like the big umbrella under which our program is, and basically we're talking about human settlements and architecture, because we're talking 2 topics of architecture and human settlements, which is on the one hand emergency architecture with all its phases of post-disaster reconstruction, relocation, shelter in all its forms, from emergency to permanent shelter, and low technology. And on the other hand, bridging this together is all the topics of sustainable urban development. We're talking about, obviously, sustainable environmental issues like environmental justice. We're talking about economic entrepreneurships from a bottom-up approach. We're talking about equity. And in a nutshell, it's our program bridges all these topics in a very interdisciplinary way, interscalar way, because as I was saying, we're talking about architecture and urbanism and urban contexts. It's very context-based, and we're all looking for social empowerment. So through the program, you're going to be touching all these topics, which we think are highly relevant today with all the rapid urbanization, the conflicts that we're seeing due to natural disasters and post-conflict situations, as well as upgrading in urban contexts. So going more in detail, how do we do this? How do we teach all these topics to people from the built environment, like many of you that may be hearing us? We give you a theoretical, but at the same time a methodological background on all these subjects, and we do this through practical knowledge, through workshops, and for you to acquire skills and experience through the masters. And at the same time, we're looking for holistic solutions. So we have this interdisciplinary knowledge to approach all these topics, bridging citizen participation, and as I was saying before, going from an urban to an architectural scale. So basically, this is what our objectives are with this course, is forming people like yourselves that come from the built environment, from diverse cultures and contexts, and giving you new tools and methodologies to face all these difficult issues.
Okay, and in detail, how all of this is developed through the course. The course is divided into 3 modules. The first one, it's the more theoretical module, which goes from September to February, in which you will have daily classes and you will attend professor-led workshops. These are the courses that will provide you with this theoretical background. Then the second module is the thesis, which goes from September to May. It's an individual written research thesis under the supervisor of a tutor. And then besides that, you have a writing workshop, which is done through the whole course to help you in written skills, in writing skills. And then module 3, which is the field trip and internship, which goes from June to August. So when you finish your thesis, then you go for your internship. It's a 3-month internship. And we have institutions with agreements, but we will talk later on about internship more in detail. And just for your info, we have classes during the first module from September to February. Classes are from Monday to Thursday, from 10 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon, and Fridays are dedicated to the thesis development. In detail, the courses that form the first module, the criteria module, are divided also into 3 blocks. The first one, it's called Emergency Shelter and Settlements. This is the first block of the master, which is more dedicated, as you see, to the emergency and post-catastrophe situations. We have an introductory course. Then we have a 3-week course called Human Shelter and Settlements, which is certified by the International Federation Red Cross. And then we have another course called Urban Growth and City Resilience. After that, we move to a more urban development and community design block. And to end, we have another block which is called Socio-Spatial Strategies, in which we go both into the emergency context, but also into the urban development.
Yeah, so how do we do all this? As I was telling you before, it's practical application of methods and tools and the theory behind these topics. So we have a team that is, besides the core team, an excellent team of professionals and academics that are teaching in the program. Here you have a couple of them. If you look into our website, you can see in detail their CVs, but they come from different backgrounds. We have the practitioners that come from NGOs and that are on the field, from IFRC, from MSF. We have people that are very linked to different topics because basically you'll have a very interdisciplinary view of all these topics through people that are working on economy of urbanization. We have people like Gonzalo Sanchez Teran, which are on the field in refugee camps. All kinds of different perspectives, because we understand that today there's nothing really set or written of how to face these problems. So we're building our method together. Another great thing about this team is that as many of these professors are based in other universities of prestige like Oxford Brookes University, or people from like, for example, Rina Tewari from an Australian university, you're also getting a big network of connections through our professors, and at the same time you can do internships with them. So we have this balance of professional applied research from many of our professors, and at the same time an academic view of all these topics. So this is a question that comes up a lot, and basically we are an official program, and what does that mean? It's a university degree, so this means that when you finish your master's thesis, defend it, and you finish the 60 credits, you are able to go directly to a doctorate. So the thesis is a research-based document. We understand that many people come from a field that is not, an academic field, so we also have a thesis that can be based on a project with the implementation of this project, and basically we give it a lot of importance because this is our contribution to the field. Many of our students have later published based on their thesis articles, and this is a way of disseminating a bit what we're working on in the thesis, in the master's. And some of the areas of study, just for you to get an idea of the previous years, and that we are already building research in our university on, our emergency architecture from dwelling to settlement, development policies, low technology and shelter typologies, risk management, environmental justice, social spatial mapping, etc. These are all topics that are growing and that are starting to be publishing sound research on all these fields. So the master's thesis is developed through the year. You have a writing workshop that teaches you how to do a research thesis. And then we have a final jury where we usually invite a prestigious member of the international viewpoint, from an international viewpoint, and depending on the topics of each year, we bring the person that's an expert in these topics. Another thing we wanted to stand out is that included in the price of the masters, included in your tuition, is we have a 2-week field trip. And the objective of the field trip is for you to be on the field and work on issues related of urban development, cooperation. And the field trip is usually to a developing country. We like to go and work in coordination with a local university, a local NGO, a real project where we can contribute to. They usually is 10 days. We've done different field trips to different parts of the world and with different partnerships, but this year, I went with the students in January, we had a 2-week workshop in India because we wanted to go there and learn also. So we did the workshop at the Laurie Baker Center in Kerala, and we learned on low technology techniques. Then we went to Mumbai and contacted some of the NGOs that are our partners, like Spark from Slum Dwellers International. So this is part of what we believe is part of the learning experience of the masters, this field trip. That's why it's included in the tuition. So we go to different places. This year we're going to be going to South America. I'm not going to say where yet, but it will be in South America, and we're going to be working, as I say, usually with a local university and a real project and with local institutions.
Okay, and the last part of the course, it's the internship period. Students go, after defending the thesis, they go for a 3-month internship to one of the institution. We suggest some institution related to the research interest, but it's not something mandatory. The master direction, we provide you with institutions with which we have agreements, but we have also the possibility that if you are interested in any other institution, you can approach that institution, and we do all the process to sign the agreement, and so you can go to your internship there in case you are accepted. We have a list of places, like almost 30 institutions. Some of them are those you have here in this list. Center for Public Interest Design, or UN Habitat, or UCLG in Barcelona. I have to say that the cost related to your internship, it's up to you. So we have also options in Barcelona in case you don't want to go to another place. And this is the last part of the master. So it comprises June, July, and August. At the end of the month of August, you have to submit the internship report. And then it's not necessary that you come back to the university. So when we receive that report, you are done with the program.
There's something I wanted to stand out, and that I said before, is that one of the excellent things of the Masters through the years is this great network that we've established. We are a Masters that has time through our students to develop research on many fields that, due to their emergency and the changing context, the practitioners on field don't have time to research on. So I'm very proud to say that we have partnerships with IFRC. As Raquel told you, this 3-week course that we have in the emergency and shelter topic is accredited by Red Cross, and they know exactly the needs on the field, so they're in total contact with us and trying to develop new research that will be applied research, which really makes sense when we're talking about the topics we talk in the Masters. And the same thing happens now. We're assigned an agreement with UN Habitat. It's important to stand out that UN Habitat now has offices here. Their City Resilience office is in Barcelona, and the director of the office is teaching in our program, so much of the internships are there too. And at the same time, as I was saying, we're with practitioners, but at the same time with academic partners, and we've just signed an agreement with RMIT, and our master's is an option, is an elective for a new master's degree called MODDD, Design, Disaster, and Development. So as I was saying, our partners are strong institutions that are very related to the topics of the masters. Yeah.
Also about the alumni, which is something that we are also proud of it. We have a big network of alumni. We have contact with them And we know not only about what they are doing, but we publish their news in our blog and social media. Also, some of them have come to the university, to the program, to give lectures to the current students. And we think it's a great source of knowledge, and it creates a big network that we are working on, and thanks also to our communications officer, which is in contact with all of them. We have a great network of alumni. And then related to that, we have the job perspectives. Just for you to know, these are really a few examples of alumni which are, as also the program has this balance of academic and professionals. The same happens when you finish the program. Many of our students decide to go on a PhD, but also many of them, they decide to go to professional careers in institutions or NGOs or national agencies. So here we have some examples of our alumni from many years.
Mm-hmm. And in parallel to what is our program, being in the city like Barcelona gives us a lot of opportunities. We always try to link and disseminate what we're doing in the program through many entities in the city, and these are just like two examples that have happened the past year. We participated in an exhibition that was going on housing, social housing in the city called Piso Piloto that you can see, and it was hosted in a very important art center of the city. And at the same time, we decided that we wanted to go out of the classroom and communicate what we're doing through our research and the questions and topics that are coming out. So we developed this conferences called Development by Design, where we had professors that were coming from abroad and local professors, and we opened it to the city of Barcelona. As you can see in the pictures there, it was very well received, and it created some debate, because we really believe that it's through this master's, through academia, that we can start bringing up new issues and new questions, and that's what you will do when you come to the program. And in the same line, what we're doing is committing to develop publications based on the research that is generated through the thesis of our students. And here are two examples we've done with the best thesis and our topics, and the one of development and context, as you see on the right. That year, most of our students were working on camp planning, post-disaster situations, and we decided to make this publication, which is like throwing out these questions and sharing what the knowledge that is being produced in the program. So it's very important for us that it's not just teaching, it's also dissemination. It's also being in contact with the actors that are involved in post-disaster, post-conflict, urban upgrading, and all different topics that are very contemporary to developing and developed countries.
Also in our interest of sharing our knowledge, but also in keeping the networks, and also for you, all those who are interested in the program, you can find us online. We have a master web and blog. We publish every week, and also you can find all the content and structure of the course. You can find news related to the program, but also news related to the topics of the program. So it's not only what is happening inside the class, but also what is happening around the world related to the topics we are debating. We have a Facebook page. I hope you all give a like. And then we have the university website, which is more the content and the structure of the program.
Mm-hmm.
And then also in our interest to share this knowledge, we will have an open class with Nabil Hamdi the next 1st of March. It will be also via streaming, so you are all welcome to join the class. It will be really interesting. Nabil is coming to the program since already 3 or 4 years. He's, eminencia.
Yeah, I think this is we wanted to give you like a preview of some of the topics you're going to hear during the course, and many of you that are related to the field have probably read some of
Yeah.
Nabil's publications. So we just wanted to announce it here on the online informational sessions. So if you want to connect here, you can find the link, and we hope you join us. We wanted to finish up now, and we wanted to leave you with some general information of who we are in the Masters, who to contact, our emails, and we wanted to invite Ana Cañizares, which is our communications officer, that to now take your questions and also to answer them. So thank you.
Thank you.
And,
Hi everyone. I don't know if you can see me. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi everyone. I'm the communications officer for the master, and I'll be helping out Carmen and Raquel to answer your questions. So if you can just tell us through the live chat, and we'll get right on them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Here.
well, there's a lot of greetings from everywhere. From Costa Rica, from Italy, Mexico.
Jordan.
Jordan,
Good. We have a student from Jordan this year.
Hi Nasser. That's
Oh,
Nasser.
it's Nasser. Nasser is
Hello.
an alumni. He's an ex-student of ours, so he's also on the session. If you want to ask any questions to him, he's willing to answer. From Mexico.
So let's take a look if there's any questions.
Hi, Ren, just a quick, no. So if you have any questions, it'd be a good moment to write them on the chat so we can actually answer any of the doubts. We've gotten very fast with the presentation, and I'm sure you have some doubts. So just fire away with your questions and we'll answer. It's so nice to see that we have such an international group as usual. This is something that this year in the classroom we have 17 nationalities. And yeah, Nasser, it's nice that you're online.
Nice to see you, Nasser.
Yeah. So yeah, if we will be sharing this online, so you can go over it if you want to look at it more in detail.
Questions, please.
Yeah.
Questions.
Yes. Let's see if anybody wants to answer a question. Wants to ask a question.
No questions.
No questions.
Okay, I guess we've been really clear.
Last time we had lots of questions.
Yeah.
Well,
So maybe we can ask a question to them. They can answer.
Yeah.
Or else,
What can we ask them?
if all these people that are okay, I wanted to ask. Okay, thank you, Carolina. Mhm.
Okay. Hi, Carolina. Carolina asks, I want to ask if there is any possibility to extend the master for a second year, but first taking this year at Barcelona.
Are you, Carolina, referring to the 2-year program of the Mundus Urbano? If it's the Mundus Urbano, the first year is always in Darmstadt. It's a 2-year program. Our program on itself is in Barcelona. And then
also the application, it's a different process. So if you go to the Mundus Urbano, you have to go to the Mundus Urbano website and do the application through TU Darmstadt. And then we host the second year students. But as Carmen was saying, it's always a second year. It cannot be the first year.
Right. So Naz Gomez, could you explain a little about what are the requirements to apply?
The periods, to
The
apply periods. Well, you should be applying now if you're interested, because we have unlimited number of persons per year. So the requirements when you write to the person in charge of applications at UIC, which is
Ruth Regalón.
Ruth Regalón. We can write I think we can write her name, her email. They're going to send you the email.
Yeah, it's in the PowerPoint.
Well, then she will give you all the requirements.
Anyway, at the website, you can find also the requirements of how to apply to to the program.
Yeah, it's all in the program section of the website. You can find all the information
Yeah.
there on how to apply.
Okay, Adriana.
Adriana Zapata, she asks, is there any plan in terms of Habitat 3? I'm in Colombia and want to go, but I know that the starting date of the master is in September and
It's the
Habitat
end.
3 is in October. Any plans?
Well, definitely, we're in contact with the organization of Habitat 3 because UN Habitat has their office here. So we are not thinking of participating except just by some of maybe the directorship, but we're not going to do an activity from the masters. It starts it's the last week of September actually. But yeah, you will be hearing about Habitat 3, obviously, and we will be in contact with what's happening there. But the program itself, the Masters itself, is not participating directly. Yeah, as they were answering there, as enrollment is already open, and you'll find all the application form on this link. Thanks, Juan. So yeah. I do want to stress that if you're interested, you should be applying already. We have a lot of applications, and this is the 8th edition of this program. So you can also, as Nazir that's here present in the session through the chat, you can also ask through Facebook and to contact and questions, anything you want to know about how the program is.
Yeah, if you'd like to ask Nasser a question right now, just ask, and he can answer.
Yeah. If not, well then we can actually close the session if there's no more questions.
Let's wait maybe a minute or so, see if any of you have any.
If not, I do.
Oh, here's Nasser.
He's writing.
Hi, I'm Mariana from Colombia. Mariana wants to know, I want to know if there's any age or experience requirement to enter.
No, actually, there's no age. Most of our students have some experience working in NGOs, not necessarily. Right now in the classroom, we have a person that is just graduated and a person that is 36, and it's working out perfect. So I think I answered your question there.
Martina Mana, her question related to the theoretical module 1 classes, how do the classes involve the student?
Okay, it's all very open. You're going to be working there from Monday to Thursday you're with a different professor that is directing the module. They're not theoretical in the sense that you're just hearing lectures. They're very participatory. Our course is not at all a classroom lecture design. I mean, you're always working in groups, you're doing exercises. It's not, maybe that's the wrong term. When we're talking about theory, we're talking about concepts basically, but transmitting the concepts is a lot through practice. I mean, through exercises, working in groups. It's never sitting in a classroom and taking notes, if that's what you mean. And there's another one. Here, no?
Yes, Estrellita, in your opinion, which is the major addition in order to do the Erasmus Mundus? The major addition.
Well,
Oh,
basically, it's the first year in Darmstadt is more general. So you're seeing topics of urban development and not emergency. I mean, our course in the Mundus Urbano is the only one that is doing emergency and urban development, international cooperation. If you take the track of Grenoble, it's different. If you take the track of Rome, it's development economics. So basically the topics you're seeing in our course are only in this course. Darmstadt is more introductory, it's more general, you see different things, but you don't see emergency.
Right, so you answered that one, right? This one. Why would you choose to do the 2-year master instead?
Yeah, if you want to do the 2-year masters, it's a different degree, but our masters are these topics. That would be the only reason you would do it, is you'd have a 120 CTS degree. You have 2 degrees actually, because Darmstadt will give you one and we'll give you another, so you'll have 2 degrees in 2 years. No? Mm-hmm.
Juan Diego Lopez, he says, I'm sorry to be late. Oops.
I wasn't able to
attend the full live session. Is it possible to listen to a recorded version? You can just come back here and this will stay here, so you can watch it after we cut. So it'll stay there, so you can watch it. Who else? Yolanta. Hi everyone, I would like to know if WEEK offers any grants or financial aid for this master.
Okay, you can go into the page of WEEK, but usually most of our students that come with their scholarships from their countries. But I think Juan was going to write in the chat where you have to go to find this information.
Mitzi Valeria Ramos Medina. Hi, what is the English certificate we have to present for the application?
It's usually, I think we're not asking for any certificate because basically the whole master's is in English. So, I mean, if you don't understand English and can't write or communicate in
Yeah.
English, I mean, we are not asking for any certificate. We think everybody's, that wants to do this program.
I think there might be
A requirement?
one requirement, which is in the program section of the website.
Oh.
You can find the requirements section in that tab. So just look at it there, and it does say something about an English certificate. But you do have to know how to speak and write English properly, because the whole course is in English. So.
Oh, okay. What here? Let's or TOEFL?
Let's or TOEFL, the certificate. Check it out on the website because it says for sure there. So, Maria Aquileos. Hi, I would like to know if any funding is available for EU students and if the portfolio needs to have projects related to the purpose of the course, or it can include general projects and subjects.
Yeah, definitely. You're going to learn from these topics here. So if you've worked in these fields before, it's fine, but it's not a requirement. We like to see more or less the overall CV of the student, but it doesn't have to be related. I mean, we understand most of our architects that are urban planners or geographers or engineers that come to our program have never even thought about sometimes of these topics. So that's why we're learning of new concepts. We're looking at a new perspective of our careers in themselves. We've been taught architecture in the traditional way and thinking of traditional processes of urbanization. And in the program, we're going to be giving you all this background and methods. So it really is, it's a plus if you've already worked on the field because you will have your own experience, but it's not a requirement. And then she's reading.
Yeah, that was Maria.
Okay.
Oh,
I would like to know. Yeah.
Do we need academic? I think that's the certificate. Once again, if you want to know about the English certificate, go to the program section of the website and you can find out more there.
Okay, and about the funding for EU students, no, there really isn't, but the funding that there is in general. There's no specific funding for EU students. It's the same. So yeah. Hi.
Hi, I would. This is Salma. Hi, I would like to know: is the studio involved in any live or any design build projects?
Yeah, when we're working in the workshop, the local workshop that is the course that I direct here, we usually work in a design, more at an urban design and spatial and social spatial proposal, and it's a workshop on site, and we usually work here in Barcelona. And there's also, when we go on the field trip, we're usually working on sometimes it's a design propositive project proposal. So there is this involvement, although the thesis is not a project. I mean, it's not a design project. You have to have some background, a theoretical background. You have to be making a bigger question, an argumentation, and then you can propose a project as an implementation of what you're relating your research to.
Carolina Collignon, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. One last thing, do you recommend taking the 2-year program with Erasmus Mundus? You're saying first year is more general, so it's not like I'm missing an important part.
It's a different degree, and the Mundus Urbano is a double degree. So where you get a double degree either with UIC or either with Grenoble, you pick the second year mobility track. So it's basically 2 degrees. So our degree is this, and if you look at the Mundus Urbano page, you'll see more or less what the topics are. I mean, it's a general overview, but you are learning certain things that probably you won't learn here, but it's not related. I mean, they're not, we're not like a continuation of, if that's the question. That's why you end up having, when you finish the double track of the 2 years in Darmstadt and the other university, you get 2 degrees. So it's a different program. If you do the Mundus Urbana Masters, it's another master's different from ours. Okay, so this is something I wanted to make clear because we are part of this second option, but it's a 2-degree program. It's not a double degree. I mean, it's not a joint degree. Sorry, I'm mixing you guys up. So yeah, so it's not like you're missing. It's just different. It's a different program. But you can go on the website and see, and then you can get more information on that program. But today we're talking specifically of the Master of International Cooperation Sustainable Emergency Architecture, which is of UIC alone. And it's also a degree that is official, so you can go on to a doctorate if you want.
Right. Juan Diego asks, after completing the master's, are you accredited as an architect in Spain or in Europe?
No, this is not, our master's is not part of an undergrad degree. It is a master's, so it's a university master's, so it's a part. You have to have a degree in architecture or a degree in any other career. I mean, it's not, sometimes in Europe, masters are part of the undergrad. In this case, it's an official university master's, so it's a big difference. You have to have finished architecture. Okay.
Carolina says, yeah, she's thinking of coming directly here, so
great.
Good. Glad to see you here.
That would be nice.
To come. The Yambushi-san, what is the percentage of the students that after this master work in the humanitarian sector?
Oh, I don't know the percentage, but
I would say
pretty high percentage.
High.
Most
It depends on the years, no?
Yeah.
I get, like last year, I would say quite high. There was, like for
Maybe
example, Nazar that is here joining us. He's working for UNHCR. He did his internship in another NGO, but then maybe he can tell you what he's doing if you want to talk to him. But I wouldn't say, I would say half, or I don't know. We haven't.
Yeah.
That would be
40% have.
maybe.
That
Yeah.
would be good to see.
Where are we? Yolanda, can you explain a bit more about the 88% of employability and the labor insertion?
Oh, this is on the website.
That's
No?
on the week
okay.
website.
Yeah, definitely. Most of our students are employed after they finish the degree. I mean, they're like, as we said in that slide of the students that are our alumni that are working. Some of them are in NGOs. Some of them have even made their own NGOs. We have a student in Nepal, which is doing a great job in the post-disaster situation of the earthquake in Nepal. He's doing an on-site NGO. We have students that are in UN Habitat, others that are in humanitarian organizations. So what we wanted to say with that percentage is that most of them, and these are not things we've invented, right? This comes from the accreditation agency.
Right. Estrellita asks, so if we finally choose to do only your master degree, it does not mean we will arrive less prepared than the people who came from the Erasmus Mundus. No. We don't have to worry about that, right?
No, I mean they just have done 1 year before and they've seen a bit of many things, but since our topics are different, that's why they do their second year here. They're learning with you. So actually what it gives the classroom is more internationality, and because the Mundus Urbano is linked to a scholarship from the European Union, so sometimes it's they are people from very diverse backgrounds, especially from developing countries, so it makes the classroom very rich in cultures and diversity. So you don't have to worry about that.
Martina Mana asks, I have finished 3-year bachelor's in architecture, and then I worked 1 year in an NGO in the Philippines. Does that mean that I can't apply?
Yes, you can't apply. You need to have, because of the way this master's is official and it's a university.
She says she finished.
She finished.
Oh, but she has a bachelor?
I
Yeah,
finished
but
3-year
then
bachelor's.
1 year working in an NGO.
So do you have your bachelor's degree? That's the question, right?
Yeah, if you do have a bachelor's degree and you're an architect, we'd have to look. I think you should send your
Yeah,
documents
send your
because
application.
sometimes that happens. You know, many people have sent their documents, and then we usually assess them, and then when we look at the whole what the credits and we see that it's valid, well, then we can convalidate. But just by answering like this, we'd have to see your application.
I mean, you do have to have a degree.
Yeah, you
but-
do have to have a degree, and we usually analyze the applications and in general the cover letter. Very seldomly do we ask for a Skype interview, but that happens very seldomly, so don't worry. But I think it's more important that you do send your application so we can evaluate it and be in touch personally with you. Well, Nazar wrote.
Okay, so Nasser's explaining to us, or to you, so just to be clear, I have a bachelor in environmental design. This is Nasser, our alumni. In environmental design architecture from Griffith University in Australia. Oh, sorry,
no.
that I'm running the wrong one. Sorry. Yes, after finishing the week master program, I started working with UNHCR on refugee camp planning and shelter design in Jordan. Currently, I am involved in projects for Satari and Asrak refugee camps. That was Nasser. our
And at
alumni.
the same time, Nazir is doing his doctoral thesis with me. So as you see, what kind of research we're doing is not theoretical but applied research, and more this is what's attracting many of the NGOs we work with to support our program.
Juan Diego Lopez asks, so just to be clear, I have a Bachelor in Environmental Design Architecture from Griffith University in Australia. Having this already, is it possible to enter the master's degree?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Martina, okay, I'll send it anyway. Thank you. Great, Martina. Jessica Lau, do you have any networking with Mexican organizations?
Well, yes, actually last year's field trip was to Tijuana. We went with Teddy Cruz to work in the border between San Diego and Tijuana, so we were linked to NGOs there in Tijuana. At the same time, we do have contacts in UIC with Mexican universities and organizations. I forget, but I'm almost positive somebody did an internship there. Why? Well, just to know, probably, I don't know. Jessica Lau, are you from Mexico?
Are you from Mexico, Jessica? It takes a while. Any question?
And we have Mexican alumni.
We have always Mexican students in our program. This year we have Elvia, right?
Olivia. Last year,
And
Lucia.
last year we had an excellent student from Mexico, Lucia, right? And we always have Mexican students, at least one or two
Yeah.
in our program.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Okay, yeah. And anyway, if you have an organization that you want to work with, when it's your internship, when it's the internship period, even if we don't have an agreement with them, we can make an agreement with them. So it's not an issue that it's not our contact already. I mean, we actually, like Raquel was saying, not all of them are in the slide we put.
Sorry. Salma, to Nasser, are you working as an architect? Salma asks you, Nasser.
Well, after you finish the program, I don't think you're going to be thinking yourself as an architect itself. You're going to be seeing that you're more multidisciplinary. So he's working on camp design. I think he can answer better. But I just wanted to say that I think one of the things that happens after the program is that many of our students that are architects see a different perspective of what their work can be applied to.
Nasser answers yes, as an architect and urban planner.
Any question about issues about admissions, you can contact Ruth Regalon, and there's her email. Yeah, that's a good suggestion because she's the person in charge of admissions, and she knows exactly all the questions related to that.
Also in the website we have an email.
Okay,
for
here there's
admissions
Yeah, on our
or
contact page you can
information.
find her email
Yeah.
as well, and at the contact page of our website, masteremergencyarchitecture.com. The Yambushi-san asks, maybe I lost this answer, but Are all the trips expenses by the
Expense.
right? Are all the trips paid by the students or?
Okay, the field trip, which is the 10-day field trip that we had in the presentation, is included in your tuition. So you don't have to pay for the trip nor your lodging. However, the internship, wherever you go, that's why Raquel was saying that we also have internships in Barcelona, and you do have to pay yourself. And usually you're working for experience and you're working for NGO or for different organizations, and it's part of the requirements to do your internship. But the field trip, what is called the field trip, it's included in the tuition. Oh, and also, that's right, we do have a direct contact of UIC in Mexico.
Maria Fallen,
That's right, I'm sorry, I forgot. She's linked to admissions of UIC. And her name is Maria Fadel, as they have just put. And if you have any questions, you can contact her. And there's her email, uicmexico@uic.es.
Yeah, she's also on our contact
Yes.
page.
Yolanda is saying is we have agreements with Arquitectos Sin Fronteras. We have more contact with MSF, but
Yeah.
we do have contact with ASF in Barcelona.
We have the contact with ASF, and yeah, they have participated also in the program previous years. But for the internships, the thing with ASF is that the office in Barcelona, it's a really it's office work, paperwork. So neither students and neither themselves, they like to have interns for that kind of work. And so, for example, with MSF, Médicos Sin Fronteras, which is Doctors Without Borders, we have usually more people going there because it's a more design-based or toolkit document, for example. So it's more into the topic, not so much, it's not paperwork or office work.
Right. So there, Naz Gomez asks, there is an institution NGO linked to the master in Central America.
Oh, if we have agreements
Is that-
with an NGO in Central America? I don't remember. I think it's a question. But as I was saying, if you need to do your internship wherever, you can suggest it, and all we need is an agreement signed by that NGO or that institution with our program, so you can go do your internship.
We have
It's
the
not an
Universidad
issue.
Nacional de Colombia. No?
Yeah.
That's in Colombia, when I'm in
Oh,
Central America.
Oh, Central America. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. I don't know. We've had many contacts through the years, but if you're worried about doing your internship there is no problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's a matter of
we
it's a
have
matter
also-
of getting in contact with the organization and working it out.
There's
So-
also alumni in Central America which are working already there, so they can be a contact.
Yeah.
So
would you know if-
Martina asks, Mariana
Casas?
Casas, would you know if Erasmus Mundus has any scholarships for this master?
Well, no, the Erasmus Mundus is another program, as I was saying. So you have to go through their webpage, and those are scholarships from the European Union. You do your first year in Darmstadt, and then you pick your mobility option for your second year. And it's between UIC, Tor Vergata, or Grenoble. So it's the different masters of 2 years. So no, they don't have scholarships for this master. They have scholarships for their master of 2 years,
Yeah.
of which we are part as a mobility option and as a second degree.
I would say for Mundus Urbano, you have to go directly to TU Darmstadt. They are the host university, and they are the ones that can give you all the information. Also, for you to know, all the selection process for the next year has already been closed. So I think if you have any doubt regarding Mundus Urbano, you should go to the website and also maybe write to the TU Darmstadt staff so they can inform you better than us.
Right. Martina Mana asks, during the selection process to create an international environment, does this mean that you evaluate people both based on your CV portfolio, reference letter, as well as country of residence?
No, not at all. It just happens. I think the topics we're dealing with are very international, and our master's is in English, and so it just happens because we're working with problems that are real global. So, and we're really tackling problems in the global south. So this just happens. It doesn't makes no difference where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it in the people, all of you that are here with us today. You're like each of you is from a different place, so That's what
Yeah.
happens when we get applications and when everyone's just from everywhere.
Yeah, we do have Spanish students. They're not the most, but there are some. Because I think it's also part of the experience is you can't believe how dynamic a class is in this master's because you're doing a lot of work in groups and just everybody coming with their backpack full of experiences and different cultures makes it so enriching, you know. So no, it's not a requisite at all.
Martina Pisano, how many students are accepted each year?
Maximum
23.
maximum 23 maximum. So, but you will be joined with the Mundus Urbano second year that are already picking our program. So you have to be fast with your applications. We've done the session now because we know that it takes a while if you are accepted to get all your work and all your
visas and
papers
all
and,
the things, yeah.
visas and stuff. So I really do insist that you, if you're interested, to send your application as soon as possible. Yes.
Are the students from Mundus Urbanum included in this number? Yes.
Yes, they are. That's what I was saying before, that they're included. So in the 23, there could be this year, there's 7 in our classroom. And so more or less that's around the number.
Yeah, it really depends.
It
but
depends
yeah,
on each year.
Each year.
It depends on each year. Nazar would say that his year there were less and there were more UIC students just doing our masters. But it depends on each year. Okay. So great. Yeah, I think we've answered most of the questions. If you do have any questions that we haven't answered, it would be nice if you contact either the admissions office or you can even write to our emails that are there on the presentation. That's why we put them there. So if you have any doubts. And if you want to have a look about trip this last year, have a look on our Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
the field trip.
For the field
field
trip.
trip.
That's
Yeah,
great,
you can check out, what we've been
Yeah,
doing.
the field trip of last year or the year before last.
You can check out everything we've been up to on our blog and on our Facebook page, where the students go on field trips, the workshops, the weekly workshops.
I have been.
Sorry, Yolanda asks, if I've been granted with an Erasmus Mundus scholarship as an undergraduate student, can I still apply to this master?
You mean before?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really don't understand the question. You have an Erasmus Mundus scholarship for studying your undergrad. It has nothing to do. You can
No.
apply
Yeah, yeah,
again.
sure.
Yeah, it has nothing to do. Yeah, you can still apply. It's not conditioned. I insist that if you want to apply, you should apply, and then we can sort out all the doubts and the admissions. Ruth will be in contact with you and ask for anything that is needed. I mean, one of the nice things of UIC is that it's a community that is not too big, so we're in contact with everybody, and this is one of the assets of studying here.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you can apply.
Okay, great.
Any last minute questions? Because we're going to go in about a minute or so. So if you have any last questions, please get them through. Kiara, do you already know where in South America will be the field trip?
No, not really. We're still working. We really don't want to say anything till it's all really linked. There's various options that are going around. One of them could be Brazil, another one could be Argentina, another one could be Venezuela. We're working with different partners, and it will be a very project-based proposal field trip this year. It's not like last year that we went to learn, so we did this workshop on building techniques and low technology at the Laurie Baker Center in India. This year it will be probably linked with a local university and with public administration and a project-based participatory project. So yeah, we still don't want to say anything because it could change, but it will be in South America this year, not in India.
Amanda, will the live class on March 1st going to be posted for people who can't watch it then? Well, it will be like this. So it will be recorded. It will be live streamed, so you can watch it just like we are right now. you are right now, and then you can check it out later if you weren't able to tune in at the time. So it'll just stay online for you to see.
Thanks, Nazar. Thanks for being
Thanks,
there.
Thanks,
Nazar.
Nazar.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I guess.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I guess
thank
we'll say
you,
goodbye.
and hope to see you in Barcelona.
Oh wait, one
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
Oops.
Martina asks, I am waiting to get the official translations back of the degree. Would you reckon I should send the application in with the Italian version documents?
Yeah.
Or wait till I have
Sure.
everything?
It's better if you send everything right away, and so Ruth already keeps everything, and we'll wait for the official translation to be done. But if you can go for it right now, it's better. Yeah.
Yeah, so send it now.
Okay, thanks to everybody, and we hope to see you in Barcelona in our program.
Thank
If you have any other questions, please contact us. Just look at our contact page and you can contact us through there. We'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.